Hey, it's Janet Gemmel down here with Cape Fear Family Law on the southern coast of North Carolina. I want to talk to you again about the North Carolina Child Support Guidelines. They changed January 1st, 2019. Brand new set of guidelines. And there's a couple of changes. I want to talk to you today about the 3 things that if you are receiving child support, you need to know. The first one is that if you're receiving child support, the guidelines have gone up. If the combined monthly income between you and your child or children's other parent is $30,000 or less per month, the guidelines will cover you. That's a huge increase from the last time that they put out the guidelines. It only went up to about $240,000 a year. Now we're all the way up to $360,000, I believe. So before it was up to $24,000, now we're at $30,000. A big, big change. Okay. If you are at $30,000 or less of combined monthly income with you and the other parent, you're going to be in the child support guidelines. If you have more than that in monthly income, then we're going to base your amount on that top number, that $30,000 number for the children. And then we're going to go probably up from there, basing it on the estate and other issues that are in those cases where you have standard of living and really super high assets for super accelerated children, right? Okay, number 2. If we have to impute income to your child's other parent in order to set the child support amount, what you need to know is that the guidelines give us some new power to do that. Now we're going to be looking at a number of different factors to try to figure out potential income. For example, we're able to look at their assets and their residence. I mean, how many times have you seen somebody that's voluntarily depressing their income? They just stop working. Maybe I had a person recently say that he was going to join the ministry. Had never been in the ministry in his life, okay? But all of a sudden, his wife needed child support and he was going to join the ministry. So let's make sure that if the other side is not paying their child support, they're not working, they're just sitting around not doing anything, this is where the imputation of income comes in. So we're going to be able to look at their assets. What do they have? Any new residents? Or if they're living with their mom and not paying rent. That's absolutely important for this issue. Other relevant background factors for the parent's actual ability to earn. That is a brand new wording in the guidelines, and it's huge because that really opens the door for what kind of evidence we can bring in. More often than not, you know that somebody's been running up debt on their credit card, or they go out to the bar every night and they're having some alcohol and you don't know how the heck they have money to pay for that but can't pay the child support. Well, this new part of the guidelines is there to help you, and the imputation of income. Because if somebody's lifestyle is such that even though you can't find the income, so to speak, maybe they're making cash or money under the table, maybe they're selling drugs. If their income is such that they have a standard of living or a lifestyle, their children should be able to enjoy that. And that's part of that whole process of imputing income. Number 3, when we're establishing child support, it used to be that the only thing we could use was the income of the parties. Unless they're voluntarily depressing their income in bad faith, like we just said in number 2, then we could use some other factors. But now, in establishing child support, you get to use the income, earnings, and other evidence of ability to pay. That's huge. Because again, let's say that the other parent lives with their parents. They pay no rent. They clearly have a larger ability to pay the child support. So even though that they have a certain amount of income, maybe it's only the $1,108 of income that would have them have a minimum order, but you find out that they don't owe any rent, you can ask the court to deviate from the guidelines and move their child support up in accordance with their actual standard of living, because they live for free. So a lot of times people say, well, I buy food. Okay, let's see the receipts. Bring the receipts in. So be prepared to use any other evidence of that person's ability to pay. You want to see credit card statements. What are they spending their money on? I mean, it's important that you set this child support right. It's going to be there for probably 3 years or more. Remember that child support is modified every 3 years if there's a 15% change or if there's a substantial change of circumstances. And then you generally have to make that motion, or the Child Support Enforcement Agency will make it on your behalf. Setting child support appropriately is incredibly important for your kids. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, like our video, and keep your family close.